Meghan's half-sister, Samantha Markle, who's made plenty of her own headlines in the lead up to the royal wedding.
I do believe because there are no delivery certificates.
I don't think she would do it without a motive. I don't think she's capable of empathy, remorse, or shame. I don't think she could feel enough to apologize.
You know how Meghan Markle built her whole image around being real, authentic, and true to herself? From her Montecito mansion, she's been preaching about honesty, empowerment, and self-love like she's the queen of living your truth. But here's where it gets wild. It looks like Meghan might have kept a few secrets from the royals before she even said, "I do," to Prince Harry. And now those secrets are coming back in ways no one saw coming. That perfect fairy tale image everyone believed in. Yeah, it might have had a few hidden pages that were never meant to see the light of day. Everything started when Samantha Markle began dropping cryptic hints online, and suddenly the internet went crazy. People started digging deep, and what they uncovered started making Meghan's polished image look a little shaky. And here's the jaw-dropper. There are whispers about records from 1997 that somehow stayed buried for years. Now those old files are surfacing, and the whole story is blowing up all over social media. It's messy, dramatic, and the timing couldn't be worse.
You think meeting Harry, being with Harry, marrying Harry, has improved your sister's behavior, or do you think it's made it worse, the whole situation?
I think it's made it worse because I think he has personality profile that perfectly enables someone who is an alleged narcissist.
But let's talk about Meghan's empire for a sec. Her brand screams empowerment, truth, and owning your story. She's built a global platform around being proud of who you are and never faking it for anyone. Yet now, with these revelations swirling, people are asking one big question. Was the brand of authenticity ever as real as it seemed? Sounds perfect, right? But here's where things get straight up wild. When heavyweight authors like Andrew Morton and Tom Bauer tried to dig into Meghan Markle's real story, they hit wall after wall. And these aren't random gossip bloggers. These are respected names who've been covering the royals for decades. Every time they tried to get closer, doors slammed shut and questions got dodged like someone didn't want the truth spilling out. Andrew Morton, the same man who wrote the definitive Princess Diana biography. Oh, couldn't crack it. And Tom Bauer, famous for pulling back the curtain on some of the world's most powerful figures, said the same thing. It was like chasing shadows. Neither could form a clear picture of who Meghan really was before Prince Harry showed up. Morton even admitted he struggled to understand her true identity, and Bauer echoed that frustration. These are seasoned pros, yet even they were left scratching their heads.
Responsibility, I think he's enabled her, and I don't think they're improving each other's lives. I think it's a toxic relationship because they're codependent.
And get this, when they tried to highlight the good stuff they did find, it somehow never stuck. But the moment they stayed quiet, brand new stories started popping up from nowhere like someone was out there filling in the blanks for them. Suspicious, right? Just imagine trying to build a puzzle, but half the pieces are gone. You see the frame, you sense there's a full image waiting, but the center's just missing. For someone who's all about authenticity and being real, that's a serious contradiction. She tells people, don't pretend to be someone else. Yet somehow her own story keeps changing shape. It's like the truth is playing hide and seek, and nobody's sure who's really holding the final piece. Fans started noticing something uncanny. Meghan wasn't just inspired by Princess Diana, she was channeling her. The looks, the hand gestures, even the emotional pauses in interviews. It all felt way too familiar. But while she was mirroring Diana's grace, parts of Meghan's own past stayed buried, foggy, like a story someone didn't want told. And the irony? Oh, the internet caught it instantly. People began dissecting her timeline piece by piece. And what they found didn't line up. When she talked about her early adult years, the flow felt off. Strange gaps appeared where full chapters of her life should have been. Whole months, even years, seemed to vanish. And when interviews reached her college days at Northwestern, things got even stranger. One moment, she's in school, and then boom, suddenly she's on TV, starring in a hit show, like someone hit the fast-forward button and skipped half her story. It's like watching a movie where the middle scenes got chopped out. You feel something's missing, but you can't put your finger on it. Sure, everyone keeps certain memories private. That's totally normal. But when your entire brand is built on honesty, transparency, and living your truth, those blank spots start to look suspicious. People can't help but ask, what's hiding in the parts she never talks about?
Would you like to talk to her? Now. Is it possible? Put all that water under the bridge and have a chat to her.
The version Meghan sold to the world looked perfect, flawless even. A Hollywood-worthy fairy tale of a regular woman who found her prince and turned her life into a royal dream. Everything about it was polished, packaged, and camera-ready. But now, with so many blanks showing through, people are starting to wonder if that picture-perfect story was just too shiny to be real. Everything about Meghan's story looked flawless, clean, polished, and perfectly under control. Almost too perfect. But the deeper people started digging, the more they began to wonder what was left behind on the cutting room floor. Why did top-tier journalists struggle to verify even the most basic facts about her past? Why did her timeline feel so edited, like someone was tweaking it in real time to keep the edges smooth? Even her family background started raising questions. How many times can one person reinvent themselves before people start wondering which version is real? Meghan seemed to switch lanes constantly. New circles, new stories, new versions of herself. And it wasn't just rumor blogs saying this. The people asking these questions were respected voices, royal experts, journalists, and even individuals who personally knew her. They all seemed to circle back to the same haunting question. Who really is Meghan Markle? And here's the twist. These weren't online conspiracy chasers trying to stir the pot. These were established authors and reporters, people who've spent years researching the monarchy, trying to piece together Meghan's life for official biographies. Yet what they found, or more accurately, what they couldn't find, made her story feel almost too curated. Like every piece had been arranged with precision to fit the fairy tale image. In today's world, perfection doesn't impress people anymore. It raises red flags. When something looks that polished, that tightly managed, the instinct isn't to clap, it's to question. People want to know what's underneath the surface. What didn't make it into the official story? What got rewritten, reworked, or quietly erased? Because let's be real. If you're out here preaching about being authentic and real, but your story's edited tighter than a Hollywood script, people are gonna start looking for the scenes that got cut. If you're out here preaching about truth and authenticity, then your own story better match those words. And that's exactly where the cracks began to show. The questions kept piling up, but the answers? Nowhere in sight. Suddenly, Meghan's whole image started to feel like a glossy mystery, wrapped in high-end PR and picture-perfect statements, until one person stepped in and flipped everything upside down. Enter Samantha Markle, Meghan's half-sister. She'd spoken out before, sure, tossing a few sharp comments over the years. But this time, it hit different. Samantha had always been painted as the jealous relative, the one hungry for headlines or trying to cash in every time she said a word. People dismissed her fast, calling her bitter, claiming she just wanted attention. But not this time. This time, Samantha wasn't shouting into cameras or selling wild stories to tabloids. She came through calm, composed, and shockingly confident. The tone completely shifted, and suddenly, the world stopped scrolling and started listening. The way she spoke, Measured, steady, and almost unnervingly sure, made people rethink everything they thought they knew about the Markle drama.
Complete outsider paying half attention to Daily Mail headlines that runs through her life as she's blowing up families. I mean, she seems like she's really caused a lot of problems, and her husband's...
It didn't sound like some messy family feud anymore. It felt deeper, like something real was finally starting to surface. And for the first time, the spotlight wasn't just on Meghan's fairy tale. It was on the parts of the story she'd tried to keep hidden. It started to feel like Samantha was dropping breadcrumbs, tiny clues that could finally lead to the answers Meghan's polished image never explained. But this time, she wasn't ranting or chasing cameras. She was calm, collected, and almost chillingly precise. Every word sounded deliberate, like she knew exactly what she was doing. Instead of throwing wild accusations, she spoke in careful hints, little clues about stories that might have been cleaned up or quietly erased long before Meghan stepped into the spotlight. She never gave too much away, just enough to make everyone wonder what had really been buried. And in the world of perfectly managed public images, that kind of quiet restraint hits way harder than any angry outburst ever could. Because when someone screams, it's easy to tune them out. But when someone whispers, the whole world leans in to listen. Think about it. When people shout accusations, they're easy to dismiss as jealous or dramatic. But when someone speaks softly, pauses at just the right moments, and lets silence hang in the air, that's when the tension builds. That's when people feel there's more hiding behind the curtain, waiting to be exposed. It gave the same eerie tension you get from a true crime documentary, when the narrator drops one haunting clue, then pauses, letting your imagination run wild. You can't help but lean closer, waiting for the next piece to drop. For years, Meghan acted like Samantha didn't even exist, completely erasing her from the public story like a character written out of the final script. But suddenly, that forgotten voice was back, calm, composed, and holding pieces of the puzzle Meghan seemed desperate to keep hidden. No mentions, no acknowledgements, nothing, just silence. And that silence said everything. Because when you completely erase someone that close to you, people can't help but wonder, why? Samantha didn't even have to fight her way back into the spotlight this time. All she had to do was plant a few careful seeds. She spoke with this quiet confidence, that subtle, I could say more, but you're not ready for it yet, kind of energy. It was calm, sharp, and perfectly calculated. And that calmness hit harder than any dramatic outburst ever could. Her delivery was pure precision, never angry, never desperate, just cool and matter of fact. Like she was holding cards no one else had seen yet, waiting for the perfect moment to lay them down. That kind of tone? It's kryptonite for a perfectly polished public image. It threw everyone off balance. The internet wasn't hearing a bitter half-sister anymore. They were hearing someone who sounded like she might actually know something real. Suddenly, the entire narrative flipped overnight. Samantha didn't need leaked messages, secret files, or some wild tell-all. Nope. All she had to do was spark curiosity, drop just enough to make people start asking questions, and the rest took care of itself. Within hours, social media exploded. People were diving into old interviews, watching clips frame by frame, analyzing every smirk, blink, and subtle glance Meghan had ever made. YouTubers turned into digital detectives, and body language experts flooded timelines with breakdown videos. Every gesture suddenly meant something. Hashtags started trending like they'd been pre-planned, and the energy online was electric. It wasn't chaos, it was a frenzy, the kind that builds when everyone feels. It was absolute chaos, fast, loud, and it was absolute chaos. Fast, loud, and completely unstoppable. And here's the wildest part. It all started from one calm interview, one quiet tone, and a few subtle hints that made the whole world pause and whisper, wait, what if there's more to this story? That single spark set off a storm nobody could control. Samantha never came out swinging or dropped bombshell claims. That's what made her move so powerful. She didn't spill secrets, she implied them.
In utero and being born, I heard stories that royal staffers were not allowed to see or touch her abdomen. And what really got me was the idea that a royal physician was not allowed to examine her womb.
Just soft clues that something was hiding beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. And that was all it took. Because once the internet catches the faintest scent of mystery, it doesn't stop to breathe, let alone fact check. It hunts. It builds an investigation machine overnight and invites millions to join the chase. Soon, people who'd never cared about Meghan Markle in their lives were knee-deep in Reddit threads and YouTube comment sections at 3 a.m., connecting dots that probably didn't even exist. The energy was wild. And here's the genius part. Samantha clearly knew how the game worked. You don't always have to prove something. If you can just make people question everything. One carefully timed comment, one strategic pause, and suddenly the entire narrative starts to tilt. The engagement machine kicked into full overdrive. Headlines started exploding across every major outlet. Fans rushed to defend Meghan with passion, while critics doubled down with fresh ammo. It turned into a full-blown digital feeding frenzy. Everyone arguing, analyzing, and amplifying every little clue like it was breaking news. And the craziest twist of all, everyone was gaining from the chaos. The media, the fans, the algorithms, everyone except the people actually tangled up in it. Meghan's team went dead silent. No statements, no denials, nothing. While the rumors got louder by the hour, the spotlight was blinding, locked on every mystery tied to Meghan's past, and the internet was digging like never before. The theories started spiraling, new clues popping up by the minute, until things suddenly took a wild turn no one saw coming. That's when the story stopped feeling like gossip and started turning into something way bigger. Someone out there decided to go beyond the endless scrolling and screenshots. They went straight to the source. They reached out directly to the California Birth Records Office, not out of boredom or clickbait hunting, but because one question was echoing across social media. Did something happen in 1997 that no one's ever talked about? And that's when everything flipped. According to online chatter, the office reportedly confirmed they found records showing that Rachel Meghan Markle gave birth to a child in 1997. But here's the jaw-dropper. Every single detail in that file was sealed. No name, no gender, no extra info. Nothing. The documents exist, but they're locked tighter than a royal vault, completely hidden from public access. Now sure, people seal records for privacy all the time. That alone isn't shocking, but what made everyone's eyebrows shoot up was when those files got sealed. December 2018. Think about that. Meghan had just married Prince Harry that May, officially becoming part of the royal family, with cameras tracking her every step. And then, 7 months later, those decades-old records suddenly vanished behind legal walls. 21 years after the supposed event, the timing was impossible to ignore. Meghan had gone from Hollywood actress to duchess, from celebrity to royalty, and right in the middle of that transformation, someone decided those old 1997 papers needed to disappear from public view for good. Coincidence? Maybe. But to millions watching online, it felt like more than that. It felt like a clue, a missing puzzle piece that someone didn't want the world to see. And just like that, curiosity turned into obsession. Because now, everyone wanted to know what was really sealed inside those files. The timing was way too perfect for the internet to just brush off. People started asking the obvious questions. Why now? Who gave the order? And what could possibly be inside those records that had to vanish the exact moment the whole world was watching Meghan's every move? You can't help but wonder, why seal something more than 20 years later unless there's a reason hiding behind it? No one's supposed to see those files. That much was clear. But it didn't stop there, because soon people discovered it wasn't just those mysterious birth records that had gone dark. Meghan's first marriage to Trevor Engelson suddenly became part of the same puzzle. Those records also locked away, and here's where things got even stranger. Their wedding wasn't some big Hollywood event like everyone assumed. It was reportedly a super low-key civil ceremony in California that almost nobody even knew happened. Not her dad, not her mom, not a single family member in sight. The story goes, they pulled in random witnesses off the street just to make it official. That's how under the radar it was. The whole thing was so quiet it practically didn't exist until people started digging years later and realized there were no public traces of it anywhere. That's when a pattern started forming. Key life moments locked away right when public curiosity was peaking. It wasn't just one sealed record. It was multiple ones, all disappearing in perfect sync with Meghan's rise to global fame. And then, right when the internet thought it had hit a dead end, a single name started surfacing again and again across forums, threads, and whisper networks. Noel. That's the name everyone's been murmuring about. The one tied to all these hidden files and unanswered questions. Nobody knows exactly who or what Noel is yet, but one thing's for sure. That name has become the internet's newest obsession, and people are convinced it's the missing link to everything. Online sleuths went into full detective mode, comparing old photos, zooming in on facial features, expressions, and little quirks that most people wouldn't even notice. And soon, whispers started spreading about how Noel, Joe, and Meghan shared some shockingly similar traits. Now, does that actually prove anything? Of course not, but wow. It definitely threw gasoline on a fire that just wouldn't die out. Because when you stack it all together, the sealed files, the perfect timing, the eerie look-alike theories, it starts painting a picture that doesn't quite match the neat official story everyone's been told. And what keeps that fire burning is how Meghan herself talks about her early adult years. Listen closely to her older interviews. She mentions Northwestern, gives a quick nod to college life, and then, suddenly, boom, she's in Hollywood, landing acting gigs like someone hit the fast-forward button again. Those missing years, those unexplained jumps in her story, that's exactly what keeps people guessing. What really happened in between those blurred-out chapters? And here's the thing. This isn't about wild conspiracies or internet fan fiction. It's about what happens when someone's image is so tightly managed, so perfectly polished, that people start digging just to find something real. Because when every single detail looks flawless, the world can't help but ask, what's hiding under all that perfection? So where does that leave everything now? Here's the truth. Maybe whatever supposedly happened back in 1997, those sealed documents, those odd gaps in her family story, maybe they're not sitting in some secret vault at all. Maybe they've been right in front of us this whole time, quietly tucked in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to surface. Maybe it just takes one brave question, one person willing to pull the thread that unravels it all. Because let's be real, silence doesn't mean peace. Not in Meghan's world. That silence carries weight. It's thick, it's tense, and it hides behind polished smiles and perfectly rehearsed answers. Every pause, every guarded word feels loaded, like there's something just under the surface waiting to break free. And that's what keeps everyone watching. Not just the glam, not the titles, but the mystery underneath it all. Because when silence starts to crack, the truth has a way of echoing louder than any royal speech ever could. Every unanswered question adds another layer of pressure. Every gap in the timeline, every story that doesn't quite line up. It's like another tiny crack forming beneath that calm smile and those carefully worded non-answers. Something always feels like it's right on the edge of slipping. That's the thing about silence. On the surface, It looks elegant, controlled, graceful even. But underneath, it's loud. It's restless. It's the kind of quiet chaos that keeps everyone glued, waiting to see what's going to break first, the story or the silence. Each time a relative drops a sly hint or a half-said truth, it just adds more weight to that pressure cooker. And pressure like that doesn't fade. It builds. It stacks up layer after layer until there's nowhere left for it to go. That's when things start to crack. Not because of what's said, but because of what's been held back for too long. At this point, people aren't wondering if there's more to Meghan's story. They've already decided there is. The only mystery left is when the breaking point comes. When does that picture-perfect image finally start to crumble? Not just with tiny fractures, but with real breaks that can't be smoothed over? When does someone finally say that staying quiet costs more than telling the truth? Because perfection comes with a price, and holding it together takes more effort than just letting reality spill out. Eventually, something's gotta give. And the wild part? It all started so quietly, with Samantha's subtle whispers. Just a few carefully chosen words, soft enough to sound harmless, but sharp enough to make the whole world pause and think, wait, what if something doesn't add up? She never had to drop a bombshell or shout her truth, just plant a few doubts in the right places. And suddenly, the official story didn't sound quite so airtight anymore. It was strategic, it was calm, and honestly, it worked. That's the power of quiet tension. It doesn't need to scream to shake the room. It just needs to make everyone hold their breath, waiting for the next sound to break the silence. Now, every time Meghan tries to move on, whether it's launching something new, rebranding her image, or shifting the spotlight, those same old questions come crawling right back. They linger in the background like a shadow that refuses to fade. Because here's the truth. The internet never forgets. It might get distracted for a minute, but it always circles back. Threads get revived, old clips get reposted, and whispers turn into full-blown debates all over again. Maybe one day the truth will finally come out. Maybe those sealed records will be opened, or someone close to the family will stop dropping cryptic hints and just say it straight. Until then, that silence only gets heavier, hanging over everything Meghan does like a weight that won't lift. Everyone's just waiting for the moment it finally breaks. Or maybe it never does. Maybe this whole mystery stays unsolved, sitting there like a permanent question mark, forever tied to Meghan's polished, picture-perfect image. Either way, that pressure isn't going anywhere. It's stacking up, one unanswered question at a time, until eventually something has to give. And the deeper people dig, the stranger it all gets. More gaps, more whispers, more pieces that don't quite fit. Every layer peeled back doesn't bring clarity. It brings more confusion, more theories, and more late-night internet detectives trying to connect the dots. And let's be real, we've only scratched the surface here. There's still so much left underneath that glossy exterior that no one's fully seen yet. So what do you think is really hiding behind that flawless facade? What's the truth that's waiting to break through all that shine? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you believe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep the conversation alive. Because trust me, this story is far from over.